The neighbor. What is the neighbor? A knock, silence, the night is still. Another knock, louder this time. The wind blows and the lights dim. An even stronger knock finally woke me all the way up. As sleep left me, I left my bedroom and I heard it. A whisper, but somehow it was loud enough to hear. "Let me in!" The voice was familiar. It's one I've heard every day. Usually a quick greeting to our cars on the way to work or over the fences that bordered our houses. Knock, knock, knock. "Let me in. I just want to talk to you." I already called his phone, but no one picked up. What did he want this late at night? It was 3 in the morning. Knock, knock, knock. "Come on already. It's cold. It's important." Not important enough to get out of bed this time of night. If it was something really important, he would have called the police. I sent a text telling him to stop being weird and go home already, before I put on my white noise machine and fell into a gentle sleep, soothed by the sound of rain. The next day on my way to my car, I saw my neighbor and he asked me what the weird early morning text was about. I was confused and I told him that I sent that because you were knocking on my door at a god-awful time in the morning. Now I was the one getting a confused look. He told me that he wasn't up that time of night, that he woke up to the weirdest text from me. I must have dreamt it or something because it sounded just like him. I must have woken up at some point, texted him and went back to sleep. Laughing, I explained this, getting a laugh out of him as well, and we went on our merry way to our jobs. The day passed and I was soon fast asleep in my bed when knock, knock, knock. The sound was loud enough to echo through my home and wake me up from the second floor. There was no one else in the house as the significant other took the kids to visit relatives and I couldn't get the time off. I waited and pinched myself. I was wide awake. "Let me in, please." The voice was loud enough that I could hear it from my stairs as I headed downstairs. But the voice was my neighbor's. Knock, knock, knock. It felt like my door was shaking with how hard whoever it was knocking. It sounded like thunder on steel. "Please hurry, you have to let me in." I made my way down the stairs, phone in hand, so I could use the light made by the screen to navigate through my house. If it wasn't my neighbor, but someone that sounded like him, I wanted to be able to call the police. Knock, knock, knock. It was too loud, the knocking. It was ringing in my ears, but I made it to the door. "I know you're there. I have to get in." I really wished my husband allowed us to keep firearms in the house. But after the kids arrived, we both agreed it was safer without. There was nothing to do but peek through the peephole and see who was making such a ruckus at my door. But I was scared and hesitant to get close. But there was no way I was going to open that door, not this late. Slapping my cheeks, I finally manned up and peeked through the peephole and instantly recoiled. What the hell was that? No, seriously. It's an open maw with rows and rows of teeth and drool, something that didn't belong to any human or animal I recognized. I looked again and saw a tongue licking the door and watched as it stepped back, letting me see more of what was knocking on my door. It was around 5 feet, skinless, with no eyes or ears, but a large maw with 3 very long crooked arms sticking out randomly. Each of those arms ended with long fingers that opened and closed in bony fists. What was I seeing? Seriously? Am I still asleep? And I watched with trepidation as it raised each of its arms and one after another slammed them against my door. Knock, knock, knock. My door shook and the impact sounded like a gunshot, making me jump, almost falling over in the process. "I know you're in there. Open the door." The doorknob rattled hard, but the door held. I called my neighbor and fortunately enough he picked up. "Tony?" came the sleepy voice. "What's wrong? Why are you calling so late?" It didn't come from outside. I heard the creature stomp off and I ran back up the stairs and dived into my closet. I was terrified. "There's something knocking on my doors again. Take a look outside, please. It may be headed in your direction," I whispered from the closet. I didn't feel safe coming out anytime soon, and boy, was that a head trip. "Are you dreaming again?" came the sleepy voice, a touch annoyed. "I'm serious. Take a look," I hissed back, trying not to be loud. Yeah, fine, I'll get up and look." Some shuffling, then a pause. "So, Tony?" "Yes?" I still panicked. "Are you drunk or something?" he asked bluntly. "No, why?" I asked, confused. "Because I hear you outside, knocking on my door like a madman. We're going to talk about this right now." "Oh no! Don't open the door!" I yelled into the phone even as I heard my neighbor open the door. "What do you mean don't open?" The voice cut off with a scream. Then the phone dropped and someone was rapidly running away, with something chasing them. I could hear my voice laughing in glee as the chase ended with an unholy scream and the sounds of flesh being ripped apart. The phone was still on, so I heard something stomp through the entrance and close the door behind them. Soon I heard it. Knock, knock, knock.